Okay, guys, there's been some questions raised lately about hours of service, and these questions I thought I had the answers to. Now I actually had to buy one of these safety fmcs safety books. I thought I had it, and I believe I somewhere some. Okay, hold on. At some point in time, I was told that you had to have this in the truck. And I'm not sure if that's a fact or if that's just me remembering incorrectly. I know you have to have the hazmat book, and you also have. I don't haul hazmat, but even still, you still have to have that in the truck. And it has, like, if you ever do haul hazmat, it has to be on top of the bills. So, but that's kind of getting a little sidetracked. I haven't had a chance to go over it. It's kind of dark right now, and I'm gonna have to bust out my reading glasses and read over the hours of service. But everyone's saying that you have to be on duty at the shipper because you're responsible for the load, and I don't think that's true. The way I read it is if you're not responsible for counting the load or actually physically loading the load or supervising the loading of the load or doing paperwork, like signing the bills and signing in and all that stuff, you can be in the sleeper berth. Or if you have a day cab, you can actually, well, it's kind of a little tricky there because you can't actually be in the driver's seat and be off duty, technically. I suppose you could sit in the passenger seat, or you could ask the shipper if I don't know. I've left before. Like I was getting unloaded in Las Vegas, and I walked down to the Jack in the Box. But they're saying that you're responsible for the load, so you can't go in the sleeper, you can't go off duty. And my point, and then they try and say that, and I'm not. I don't want to talk bad about people, because that's not my point at all. Okay, I am not putting anyone down. Okay, but I believe that somehow they've been misinformed on what the rules are. Of course, as soon as I read the section that has to do with those hours of service rules, I will update this, and I will give you my interpretation of what it says. I gave you a kind of a synopsis of what I remember it says, but that's not verbatim. That's not word for word. And that's also maybe skewed by some of the companies I worked for. Maybe they've told me lies. But the thing is, they've been audited for logs. And if we were supposed to be on duty for all the time we're at the shipper, then we would have been told that you need to go on duty because we're getting all these fines for all these log violations. But that never happened, so I don't believe. And maybe the rules have changed since I was out of the game for about 4 years, so it could very well have changed, because before I left for another career for a little bit, we didn't have the 30-minute meal break that you had to take within 8 hours of your start. So it's quite possible that the rules have changed, or they are going to change, and I just don't know about it. And for whatever reason, maybe people aren't understanding my questions. But I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and hopefully I can explain it to y'all in a way that makes sense. And I don't know. I feel like I can relay, you know, what is in here in a kind of layman's terms. If, you know, and I'll break it down to you how I interpret it and how, I mean, I'm not saying I'm an expert by any means, but I do believe that I can decipher what it says. So anyway, I'll be doing that probably tomorrow afternoon. So hopefully you'll tune back in to find out what I find.